So our speaker today is Sarah Crawford, and as you can see, her topic is called Allowing Contrast. She is an ontological life coach. I had to look up what that means. I'm still confused about it. I'm sure she will tell us what that means. She's been in private practice for 9 years, and she provides services to individuals and groups throughout the U.S. and abroad through intuitive life coaching, retreats, self-care workshops, and through caregivers, she creates a pathway for sensitive souls to live from their heart and from their power. Sarah's a graduate of Accomplishment Coaching, an ICF accredited coach training company. Don't know why I can't talk now. And has a bachelor's degree in sociology from Good Old University, Wisconsin of La Crosse. So yay, please welcome Sarah Crawford.
Thank you very much. That song was really good. Ontology is the branch of metaphysics that studies the nature of being human. And ultimately what that means is we're always looking at the underlying way of being that influences what we do or don't do, which then generates the results that we get or don't get in life.
Excuse me, could you speak up, please?
Yes, thank you. Is that better?
Yes.
Perfect. It's so great to be here today with you all. Thank you for inviting me here. Life is full of contrast. Being here in person as opposed to being here virtually. The feeling of rest when we've been really busy. How good it feels to be full after we've been really hungry. The past year has given us a lot of opportunity to experience contrast. The contrast of life versus loss. How wonderful it feels to be healthy when we've been sick. The contrast of being fully present when you've been distracted. Fall is a beautiful time to notice the contrast with the changing of the seasons. The contrast of those short, cooler days as opposed to that long summer sun. My husband is from Costa Rica, and I remember when I first went there, I was expecting what we have here in Wisconsin during the summer. Those long days where everyone is always happy and excited to be outside. There's always something going on, something to do. And when I went there, it absolutely was wonderful, and it was not like what we have here. It's dark by 6 p.m. year-round because it's so close to the equator. And because it's sunny and warm all the time, it's just another day. And that contrast of being in a different part of the world geographically helped me to really relish in the sweetness that we have here in Wisconsin in summer, as contrasted precisely because of the contrast of winter. Sometimes it's challenging to be with contrast, contrasting feelings that we sometimes have, or the contrast of what we don't want or like. And as we move into the holiday season, we have an opportunity to embrace the contrast of life, and by doing so, to enhance the quality of our days. So let's reflect for a moment on the possibility for the possible contrasting feelings and experiences that the holidays bring. Perhaps for you, the holidays represent joyous connection and celebration, but perhaps they also often include a lot of stress or pressure. Perhaps the holidays are a time of togetherness, but with your individual situation, perhaps you experience a lot of loneliness. Or perhaps you're grieving loved ones this holiday season, or maybe grief sits like a bird on the windowsill of all of your holidays for a long time. And maybe this year is the happiest you've ever been. Sometimes it's not grief that's the hardest emotion to be with. Sometimes it's actually joy. Or experiencing joy in the midst of grieving. Those contrasting feelings. Perhaps you thrive on connection, but you also dread it a little bit or worry about how the holidays with family are going to go this year. As we reflect on the contrasting experiences of life, let's take a moment to be mindful, to experience some mindfulness, a short meditation here, to really be in the body and notice how contrasting feelings or experiences or even the holidays live in the felt sense of the body. So if we could all close our eyes or lower your gaze if that's more comfortable for you. Allow yourself to just be. Imagine perhaps that there's a basket next to you, and imagine putting all your worries and fears and thoughts aside in this basket just for a few moments. You can pick them back up when we're done if you want to, or you can leave them there. And begin to notice how the idea of contrast, how the contrasting feelings or holiday upcoming experience might actually sit in the body. Imagine, experience how that feels. Notice if there are any places of tension. Notice if you're clenching your jaw, or perhaps your hands or your feet. And breathe. Allowing yourself to be here now. Notice your neck or your shoulders, maybe your upper back. Notice the belly, the hips. Just notice if there's any tension. And breathe, seeing if you can bring a little bit of ease into the body. Allowing yourself to breathe a little bit deeper. Really feeling the support of the chair beneath you. Allowing yourself to be supported. The situations that bring up contrasting or challenging feelings may be unique to each one of us. But those feelings that we have regarding them, the sadness, the joy, the guilt, the relief, the frustration, or the stress, those feelings actually connect us all. We can all understand each one of those feelings. We've all felt those feelings at some point in our lives and at some point in our day. It's a part of being human, part of the collective human experience. We are not alone. And see if this awareness can allow you to let go just a little bit, to ease any heaviness or lighten the load. And breathe. Bringing attention now to our heart. And if you're willing, place one hand on your heart and notice if there's any sense of protection that comes up in the heart as you think about contrasting feelings or the holidays. Notice if there's a desire to resist those uncomfortable feelings or to push them away. That can be a very common reaction to challenging experiences. One that so many of us, if not all of us, can understand. And as you notice your heart and how it is on this beautiful autumn morning, see if there's something perhaps more tender, more vulnerable underneath, asking to be heard or felt. When we wish the contrast away, or think it or we are wrong, or should be some other way, then we miss the bigger picture and perfection in God's creation and the opportunity to learn and grow from it. The more we experience what we don't want, the more clear we are about what we do want. The more we are able to be with the contrast of life without needing life to be any other way in order for us to be okay, the more we can expect and stay in alignment with God all around us. And the more we're able to be with the ups and downs of life, to ride the waves, the healthier and in flow our bodies can experience life to be. There will be contrast. How do we choose to be with the contrast? And I will begin to speak some affirmations now and see how these are received by the body as you hear them. May we embrace the contrasts of the seasons and allow them to be as they are. May we embrace the contrast of the seasons and allow them to be as they are. May we allow ourselves to feel two different feelings at the same time and accept that as a normal part of the human experience. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with feeling life fully. We allow ourselves to feel two different feelings at the same time and accept that as a normal part of the human experience. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with feeling life fully. And breathe. May we allow our feelings to move through us fully, to be honored and released, while at the same time knowing that our feelings are generated by our thoughts. And our thoughts don't always account for the full complexity of life. May we allow our feelings to move through us fully, to be honored and to be released, while at the same time knowing our feelings are generated by our thoughts, and our thoughts don't always account for the full complexity of life. Dear God, may we have grace for ourselves and each other while we are sorting this whole life thing out. Dear God, may we have grace for ourselves and each other while we are sorting this whole life thing out. May we be kind to ourselves and each other when life is difficult. May we be kind to ourselves and each other when life is easy. May we take the time to align our heart and our mind with God through prayer and meditation. May we take the time to align our heart and mind with God through prayer and meditation. May we use conflicting, challenging, and contrasting life experiences to remind us to take the time to pray and meditate. May we use conflicting, challenging, and contrasting life experiences to remind us to take the time to pray and meditate. May we allow ourselves to experience joy fully, just as we experience the depth of grief. May we allow ourselves to experience joy fully, just as we experience the depth of grief. And breathe. May we remain peaceful and let go of expectations. May we remain peaceful and let go of expectations. May we offer love, above all, knowing that love is the highest expression of our truth and God working through us. May we remain peaceful and let go of expectations. And may we offer love above all, knowing that love is the highest expression of our truth and God working through us. And may we accept ourselves just as we are in this moment. May we accept ourselves just as we are in this moment. And now take a moment to see if God has any other messages for you that you need to hear from you right now. And there's a short exercise I would like to walk you through as we finish up this message. Imagine now, through closed eyes or lowered gaze, that there's a viewing screen in front of you. And imagine on this viewing screen that you see a bird. Notice what color your bird is. Notice how big the bird is. Is the bird sitting on something? And now allow yourself to erase the image of the bird and imagine a tree. What color is your tree? What season is your tree in? What type of tree? Is it a deciduous or a coniferous? And then go ahead and erase the image of your tree. And now let God guide the imagery on your viewing screen. Ask to be shown an opportunity in your life to embrace contrast. And breathe, noticing any sensations that brings up in your body. Breathing deeply into the belly, seeing if you can bring some ease into that. And then when you're ready, ever so gently allow yourself to come back into the moment. Gently flutter your eyelashes open if they're not already open. Breathe. Notice how you're doing. Life will present us opportunity after opportunity after opportunity for contrast, for growth, for love, for grief. It can be expected. Perhaps it's by design. Perhaps we don't like it. Perhaps we do. The more we can allow for this, the more we can be with life as it is, the more we can work with it, the more we can experience it fully. The extent to which we are able to experience the highs and the lows of life, well, the extent to which we can experience the highs are the extent to which we can experience the lows and vice versa. I think of it as a heartbeat monitor. It goes all the way up, all the way down, squiggle in the middle, all the way up, all the way down, squiggle in the middle. And that's what it means to be alive. We will have the ups. We get to enjoy them. Let them last a little bit longer, 1% longer if you can this year. We will have the lows. We grieve because we love. Dare to lead life with an open heart, even though you risk it being broken. Because to flatline is not living.